This has been an amazing week for me. I was telling Mr. Johns and his wife how I felt led by God to attend the guild. I never knew about the guild before a few months ago. God had slowly been planting in my heart that He wanted to direct me towards teaching art in our Christian school this year, and that was the last thing I'd ever dreamed of doing. But God kept giving me ideas of ways that I could reach the kids and do things in a different way and teach them about His creation. And coming here has given me all the tools that I need to do that. Mr. Johns is amazing, and Linda as well. They've taught me so much, and not just about art, but about the spiritual aspect of how art connects with Christianity and Christ, and the way that we ought to live our lives. It's just been a wonderful week.
So this year with Keith, Martin, Johns leading the visual arts, I've been very impressed. We've never had any of the visual arts teachers doing underwater painting scene. And what's interesting about this is when I first learned about what Keith was doing is that he was talking about gravitating toward the light. And that was new. I'd never seen that before. And as I'm looking at the pieces here, I'm just really seeing the shadows. I've never noticed shadows in paintings. I'm looking at the shadow on this on the leg here, and just seeing where everything's moving toward the light, especially over here as it's moving toward the light. In fact, the movement on that leg is just incredible. And the corals, it's almost as if I'm seeing this in real life, like it's in water. You know, the water's moving. I've never seen that before. So this is just very unique opportunity for students. What have you guys been learning mostly? What has been a takeaway for you?
Art is the expression of the soul.
Cool. And how about for you?
For me, it's how everything that we do is a gift from God, and we should use it to glorify God. And this is a way that we can do that.
Cool. How about for you?
Instead of seeking perfection, to truly grasp art is to seek excellency and worship and everything that brings the picture together.
That's cool. That's cool. I like that. Love the colors. Keith, can someone like myself, who I'm not a painter, I can't even do stick figures, can someone like, if you don't have the gift, just stay away from it?
Not at all.
Really?
Who was it? Tyndale? Who was it that wanted to put the Bible in the hands of the common man, of the plowman? You know, why? Because it's the Word of God. Well, this is God's creation. And God's creation is made to point past the creation to the Creator. Anybody, a lot of people tell me, they say, I can't draw stick figures. And I tell them, you know, stick dudes are hard to do. You know, they really do a good one with circular hips and so on. But a stick person tells you about anatomy. If you have your proportions right on a stick, even in Renaissance, you start with stick people to know how the weight and the posture of a person moves. It's by stick. It's by line. Anyone could learn from studying the principles, how your eye, your brain works, how you see space, how you understand perspective. Any level of that understanding is going to increase our perception and awareness of the reality around us. And all that, if I read the Bible correctly, is to point beyond that to the maker of it. So any study, any little bit of appreciation just gives us a greater awareness of the God who made us.
That's awesome. Like I said, I should have started with turtles rather than stick figures.
Yeah, sticks work good.
So, the one phrase that I learned while taking this class is, art is the expression of the soul overwhelmed by joy. And it's so true because, I mean, you can see all the different styles we have here. Each person is expressing their joy differently. And I think the way to learn about how our society has kind of declined and all that, if you want to learn about like our culture and everything, you look at the artists because they're the ones that are viewing the world and painting it. And so as Christians, we are viewing the world through the Bible and the words of Jesus, and that's how we're expressing ourselves because that's the worldview we have. And so I have learned a lot. It was just a huge overload of information, and I've never done oil painting before. And every time I look at it, I surprise myself. So I really like this class. I want to do it more. So that's what I learned.
The overlying principle that we've been learning, that's been intertwining through our art and what God is teaching us, is just a progression. He sees the beginning and the ending, and He gives us a foundation. And in the world, we start out in this fallen world, we are wrought in darkness. But God fills in and colors in every single detail in our lives. And during this process, He transforms us into His image. He is the only one who can bring out perfection and His true glory. Every work of God is perfect, and He's the only one who can accomplish this. And as humans, it's so easy to try to perfect everything that we do, but we can't. The key factor in this is to sacrifice perfection to God and just pursue excellence to the fullest in worship so that we can reflect God's glory in everything that He has breathed into life.